Joining me today on the latest episode of the Gray Area Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts for free. And subscribe to our YouTube channel also at Kevin Gray Sports. And subscribe and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram also at Kevin Gray Sports. I am joined by a three-time Super Bowl champion, former Dallas Cowboy, joining us courtesy of Crown Royal Game Day. Darren Woodson, good enough to join us on the program today. Darren, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. Enjoying the weather. Actually, it's a little chilly, but I'm an Arizona boy, but actually not.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time with us as you join us here on the program today. Look, this is a team, and the Dallas Cowboys, as you well know, has struggled this year at 3-9. And when you look at this team, what is the biggest problem other than the obvious injuries that we've seen for this team that you could pinpoint to and say this needs to change going into next year?
Well, if I looked at it, I would say defensively making the mental mistakes that they've made. And look, I get it when you physically get beat, because there's times in this game where physically you're going to get manhandled, just how the game is played. Sometimes you eat the bear, sometimes the bear eats you physically. But when you compound that by making mental mistakes, and we just saw two big mental mistakes that gave up 12 points this past week. Leighton Vander Esch is supposed to have an A gap. He runs out of the A gap. Guess what? There's a touchdown right behind him by the starting quarterback of the Ravens, Jackson. A few plays later on in that game, they're playing man-to-man. They have a mental mistake, and they give up another 6 points on the back end of that. So when you're already shorthanded by physically not being able to stop the run and physically not being able to man up and play certain coverages, now you're compounding that with mental mistakes. There's no room for that. You're not good enough to overcome those things. And that's my biggest problem that I've had with this team. Because people have made comments that they're not seeing the effort. I'm seeing the effort.
Yeah.
This team is running to the ball. They're giving the effort. They're just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it's costing them big plays.
So as you look at this team going forward, what would you like to see this team fix, whether it be on the defensive side of the football with another scheme, or is there personnel changes that you think have to be made with respect to this football team?
Well, absolutely, personnel changes are coming. They have to be made, and we would be remiss by saying that they're okay on their personnel. They should be flatlined in that area. Defensively, they need to get better. They need better personnel, hands down. I look at this, this offense, Rick, and the one thing I see is, Lyle Collins didn't come in. He came in out of shape. He'll be there next, and he's hurt. He'll come in next year. He'll be ready to play next year. Tyron Smith will be ready to play next year. Zach Martin will be ready again next year. You got some time with some of the young guys now that will be there for next year. And then you're looking at what they have as far as weapons. CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper. I mean, the list goes on skill-wise, and then you're hoping that a healthy Dak Prescott comes back. I think offensively, they're going to come into this next season pretty strong. Here's your problem. It's the same question we had going into this season. Defensively has always been your question mark.
Yeah.
Can you fill the void? Can you get better? Can you get a pass rusher, a consistent pass rusher? Can you get linebackers that are going to play smash mouth? Can you rectify the safety position, which has been your Achilles heel for a number of years? And I think those are the question marks that not only do I have, but I'm sure the fans have, and some of the players within that organization have as well. You have to pour some of those resources into the defense.
Darren Woodson joining us courtesy of Crown Royal Game Day right here on the Gray Area Podcast. Crown Royal believes being a Royal fan this season means staying safe, generously supporting your community, and drinking responsibly while rooting on your team. That's how to crown your game day. Talk about some of the work that you're doing with Crown Royal this year with respect to how you and this relationship continues to grow between yourself and Crown Royal.
Well, it's a great partnership, and I'll say this football season I've teamed up with Crown Royal to ensure all fans stay hydrated on game day, no matter where they watch, wherever you're watching sports. And I am big on watching sports at home, having my Crown, and I drink mine neat. I'm drinking it neat. You still get to enjoy your favorite game day with your favorite cocktail, but you have to make time for water breaks between drinks. And that's where my focus is here is, having water breaks. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Make sure you're drinking responsibly. Enjoy the game as much as you want, but just do it in a responsible way. Not only is Crown Royal pushing the message to those that were having their favorite cocktail, but also they're involved in the community. And locally here in Dallas, I'm so proud of what Crown Royal has done as far as the local market and giving back to the community, and that's where the support is. So this Sunday, we'll have a little something going on, a little private shindig for the Crown Royal group outside of the stadium. So I can't wait for this Sunday and be a part of what Crown Royal is doing.
Wherever you're watching sports, you have to make time for water breaks in between drinks. Don't be that fan who ruins your game day for their friends. So, Darren, what's with the message? Look, don't be the guy or gal that ruins your day with your friends by not taking your water break. Obviously, Darren, you are a 3-time Super Bowl champion, former Dallas Cowboy who is synonymous with this franchise. And part of that also, this year, you're a Pro Football Hall of Fame semifinalist. And how important, for us that doesn't really understand and know, how important would it be for you, and how happy would you be, obviously, to become a Pro Football Hall of Famer, given some of the individuals that have gone in before you and that safety position being represented by yourself also?
Well, Kevin, I always, when I was growing up as a kid, I just, I always wanted to play at the highest level in football. And I started playing when I was 7 years old. I went on to high school and then to college, and it was always my dream to make it to the NFL. I was a Steelers fan growing up, so
don't say that too loud for the folks out there now.
When Jerry signed that contract, it all changed. But that was always my dream to play in the league. But when I got into the league, it was always about winning championships. And I came in as a rookie, and I won a Super Bowl, and I won back-to-back, another Super Bowl championship back-to-back, and then we won 3 out of 4. But at the end of the day, yeah, it was great to win the championships, and that was the number one goal. It was great to have the relationships that I still currently have with a lot of the players that I played with. But it also, for me, to end the chapter was to be a Hall of Famer. And I played with and against a number of Hall of Famers. I think in the 90s, it was myself and Leroy Butler and Merton Hanks and a few others that played at a high level at the safety position, and we just never got recognized for our skill set. So do I want to be a Hall of Famer? Absolutely. I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't want to. I think it would finish off the chapter, a long chapter of my football career, and I always wanted to be recognized as one of the great safeties in the league.
And for you, when you've seen your teammates like Troy Aikman and others get in, how special would it be to join those teammates of yours who have been into the Pro Football Hall of Fame as a part of the defense that was a part of that linchpin, 23 career interceptions, and being able to be in with those guys also?
We didn't play defense back then, Kevin. I don't know. It would be an honor. Honestly, it would be an honor. To see Charles Haley go in a few years back, man, it was emotional on my end because we finally got recognized for who we were defensively at that time. And there were so many great players on that defense that should be recognized, and we just didn't. It was, an offense. Everyone talked about the triplets, and that was pretty much it. So to see Charles go in was great. I'm hoping that at some point they recognize that, a guy like myself played multiple positions, played the safety position, played the corner, played the nickel, did a lot of things for that organization to help win championships. So that's what I want to be recognized for. And hopefully that happens someday soon.
Last question for you as we have Darren Woodson joining us, courtesy of Crown Royal Game Day. What message would you have for Cowboys fans and Cowboys Nation with respect to this year and looking into next year about how hopefully brighter days are ahead for this football team?
Oh, the message, I would say, look, let's stay the course. We got to stay the course and understand where the weaknesses are within this organization. And I think Will McClay, along with Coach McCarthy and Stephen Jones and the Jones family, will get back together this year. And again, this is unprecedented times right now. There are a lot of obstacles leading up to this, but they're going to have to take a hard look at the personnel that they have. They're going to take a hard look at the players that they've paid large sums of money to in these big contracts and see what kind of ROI they're getting on those, on those players. And then understand at the same time that as fans, we're going to have to understand that some of our favorite players may not be here because you have to sell some of these assets off to get more assets. So it's just the reality of where we are in this situation. So many holes to fix defensively. And there's no way they just do that without giving up some things.
He is a 3-time Super Bowl champion, a career 23 interceptions, and joining us courtesy of Crown Royal Game Day, Darren Woodson, good enough to join us on the program today. Darren, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it. And looking forward to seeing your endeavors continue with Crown Royal. And hopefully in 2021, we see you in Canton, Ohio for sure.
Thanks again, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.